which you are giving.
Listen.
No, because there are other people who have argued.
There is a universal.
There are other people who have argued differently.
Go ahead.
And when Bola Tinubu was declared, he has his supporters. A lot of people were happy that he won the election. There were 38% of the votes cast were given to him. And those people are Nigerians
By INEC. I told you to be qualifying what you said, please. By INEC.
But that is what has been presented officially, except otherwise
now
disputed.
Now you have
otherwise
qualified
disputed.
It. Go ahead.
If it's otherwise disputed, that is what is fact that we know now.
You have qualified it. Go
ahead. So
that
is your interpretation of this provision, because some other people argue differently.
Those who have argued differently ended up helping our case, because they say that there is a certain ruling which says the FCT is a state. Good. FCT is a state. Where is the each of 25% for FCT? It is not there. That constitutional requirement has not been met. That certificate of return is null and void and cannot be sworn in as president. And let me tell you, the way they are going, disregarding the calls of the people, violating the constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it. I am not a careless, reckless speaker. I am working with the constitution there, that document right you just read. I'm following it. And I dare to tell you that swearing in Tinubu and Shetima is as good as swearing in the Nigerian army on 29th of May. If you swear in people that have not satisfied the requirement, you have, by so doing, ended democracy. The crisis I'm telling you now is that this, our democracy, is going to end by the way we are going. This democracy is going to end on the 29th of May, 2023. Please write it.
Those are extreme,
those
are extreme thoughts.
I am very, very happy to say it. You know my name. You introduced me.
Yeah.
Listen, don't stop.
No. I will, because those are extreme thoughts. You know why? Because there are allowable language to be used on television, especially as it relates to our nation and the unity of this country.
Put your question and let me answer you. Put your question. I know what I'm saying.
If there is an official...
If you breach the Constitution...
But is it not left to the court to decide otherwise?
This is already decided by the courts.
But the authority in charge of the election gave a declaration.
If you are afraid for some things, don't ask for them.
I am not afraid. I will, as a citizen of the country, by the ethics and the guidelines of my profession, live by it.
Yes.
What is lawful? And I hope that you're a lawful citizen of the country. And so whatever the stipulation of the law guides, that if you are aggrieved about something, you go to the court to seek redress, isn't it?
This document is a product of the legal system. It has been signed into law by the President, Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Sheung, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it.
That's your interpretation.
That is my interpretation, and that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional, and I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Datti Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating, swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJ and your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme, and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate, it was reckless. He's putting all our lives in danger. All of us were already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they will take the constitution where it is clear, it says, and get 24. After that, and FCT. They fail to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid? I will not be. I am telling you that on the 29th of May, 2023, swear in Tinubu as this result is. You have ended democracy, whoever you are.
I mean, you say you're a lawful citizen.
I am.
So the judiciary...
The law in me is why I'm saying this.
Yeah, so the judiciary is the hope of the masses, is the hope of the common man. And if you look at what decision your party, your principal, and yourself are taking in going to the presidential election petition, it does look that you believe in one thing, that the judiciary will work. Do you?
I do. What you asked me is a different form of what others have asked me, as in if I trust them. But listen, take these three things I'm going to tell you. The law is not a game for politicians to play. The Constitution is not a puzzle for candidates to toy around with. Justices, their lordships, are not in place for politicians to refer other politicians to. That is wrong. That is wrong. This is classically what is going on now.
But do you have faith in the courts?
I do not.
Why so?
There is a sitting Senate president who contested presidency and lost, and today he is declared senator. And the laws of Nigeria does not allow you to contest two offices. I was contesting governorship in Kaduna, but I withdrew before the contest. And that is why I was nominated as vice presidential candidate on this ticket. Electoral Act violated. Every other act violated. Promises violated. Now they are inching to violate the Constitution to the extent that they will even swear in a president who has not met the constitutional requirement. We should sit down and be afraid and not talk about it. No way.
So if you say you do not believe in the courts, so why did you proceed to the courts then?
That is no reason for us not to go. Because I have said it many times, history is full of first times. There may be a first time that the court system will work. Remember, I have suffered from the legal system. My House of Reps, my Senate, and everything I accepted. Nothing I can do. And that's to underscore the law in me. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a law-promoting citizen. That is the more reason I keep telling you, I keep speaking in extreme ways. And I'm not violating your ethics. I am more ethical than many people who have been here before to come and tell lies, because I'm speaking the truth. The Constitution says each of, that is 20 and 24. After that, and you come and tell me that, go and get interpretation. This is an interpreted document. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is an interpreted document. Let's get academic. If, for example, Section 134 had said that shall have scored 25% in 2/3 and the FCT, and then you get a very popular candidate who now scores 100% of the states, and then the opponent goes to say, the Constitution says 2/3 of the states, and this man went to score in all the states, declare him invalid. That is where the justices, their lordships, can say, no, we hereby interpret it to mean this. But it has been so diligent, there is nothing left out there. 25% in each of at least 2/3 of the states of the Federation, which are 36, and the FCT. Who has time to waste? Nobody has time to waste. You come and rig elections, bastardize the system, then tell people to go for interpretation? No way.
You think the election of 25th of February was rigged?
It was rigged.
What about some of your candidates in the National Assembly who won their seats? There are at least 6 of them or so.
Any of them who rigged
Senate
should be taken to the court and have it taken away. I'm talking of presidential election.
Does he interpret? You think that the presidential election was rigged?
It was rigged.
Even the 6 million plus vote that you have, was it rigged also?
It was not rigged.
So that the lawful votes that you got?
It was not rigged. Remember, you're talking of electoral matters. I'm talking of constitutional matters.
So yeah, I'm asking the question because
there are 2 different
if you say that the election was rigged.
The election was rigged.
So
it should have been stopped. Remember, we called for the coalition to stop. Don't forget that, Shehu.
Absolutely. But the question I'm asking,
listen,
Mr. Datti, the question I'm asking, if you say the election is rigged, you got 6 million votes.
Yes.
If you're going to court to challenge the vote, you'll be challenging based on the vote that you have.
We got more than 6 million votes. And in the process, we cried out, stop this coalition, stop. The election did not hold. Election is made of 4 things. It is made up of the voting of lawful citizens exercising their civic responsibilities. Collation according to the guidelines and the Electoral Act. Transmission of the results according to the guidelines and the Electoral Act. Then collation according to the Electoral Act itself, and then declaration according to the Constitution. But the Electoral Act borrowed that section from the Constitution and applied it in there. After voting, all hell was let loose. What they promised us 3 days earlier on Wednesday was that there would be electronic transmission immediately from the polling units. And it is there in INEC guidelines and the Electoral Act that no collation shall be made without reference to the IREV. They were collating without reference to IREV. So we cried out, stop this, stop this. The election is already going bad. Stop it. They didn't. 4 a.m. has never happened in the history of Nigeria. After adjourning, without specifying the time, 4 a.m., a so-called INEC chairman sneaked to the collation center and announced the result and declared a winner. If you will now permit me, because I respect your rules so much, there's a word I wish to use. Who is a fool? I took your permission. No Nigerian is a fool. You cheat us this way and tell us go and get interpretation, go to court? Nigerians are law-abiding, self-respecting, peace-loving citizens. You have heard about organized private sector. I have heard about organized crime. And in our petition, there is something that has to do with organized crime. Drug peddling, drug everything is the epitome of organized crime. In America's 1930s, there was Ben Segal, a murderous individual who controlled the state. Only in the 1980s, I always his name, Pablo Escobar. He threw a justice from a helicopter down to earth. Pablo Escobar. Now, recently, you have the case of El Chapo in prison but correcting. We have it written in black and white from a U.S. courthouse that someone somewhere once forfeited $460,000 and is now a president-elect in Nigeria, the world's greatest black nation. In the United States, Nigerians have the highest educated expatriates. And this is the best we can do.
Let's bring home this conversation. I'd like to ask, it does look, from what your opponents are saying, that you only believe in the courts if it's in your favor.
Not true. Not true at all. Listen, the most important thing now is that it is not even in our own interest to stop the swearing in of an unconstitutional government. And as far as we're concerned, you cannot swear in an unconstitutional government, therefore don't swear it in.